What's happening, everybody? How the heck are ya? Who's ready? Who's pumped for GKR Week 7? Kicking things off on day number 1. You know them. They're powerful. They're stacked. SK Calalas. Coming out hot today. Look at that lineup. Lucas, Adriel, Pedro. A little Mo Light action if we get to it. On the other side of things, Olimpo squad with xAlee, Capgun, Fram, formerly Framsito, and Wallace in the opposite position from Mohamed Light. What a day, folks. What a day we have. What a opening match between these two squads. See a lot of world finalists out here. A lot of dangerous players. Who will come out on top? Well, has yet to be seen. We should begin our bans here in just one moment, and while we're waiting for those bans, hi, how are you? Good to see everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's nice to be able to get back and do a little bit of streaming here for GKR. Hopefully we can get the schedule a little bit tighter. There's been some bumps in the road over here on this end, but hopefully we are going to be back on track for the rest of GKR. Let's take a look at our bans. Shot Calalas, no surprises here. Not really worried about many bans. Just getting the Goblin Giant out of the way. No Goblin Giant. I'm going to go ahead and guess that Lucas might have had a at least small role in selecting that as one of the bans for this event. Across from that, Olimpo squad. Pump and the Evo'd Recruits, two very popular bans that we've seen a lot this year. I like these bans from Olimpo squad. Evo Recruits, obviously strongest card in the game. Get him out of here. Pump does hedge against, does stop Golem play, which Mohamed Light in particular has been really aggressive with as of late. And then taking Miner away from the multitude of players on Shot Calalas who really like to abuse Miner regularly. So I'd say a savvy set of bans here from Olimpo squad. Smart stuff on their behalf. And we should get a good look at the bans and roster overall here pretty soon. And as Sandy is saying in the chat here on YouTube, teams and rosters are in the description. So go ahead if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, I see Bertix saying hello. Hey, how are you? Roflo saying you and Revel are both on. Hard to decide who to watch. How about you watch both? That sounds like a good plan. Let's go take a look at the full picture for our first set, the 1v1 BO3s. Lucas will face off against xAlee, Adriel then against Capgun, and if necessary, Pedro and Fram. So we'll see. I do like these 1v1 BO3s. I think they're a fun set. I do wish that they were in duel mode, right? That whatever players played in game number 1, game number 2, those cards are out. That would kind of make these 1v1 BO3s even more interesting. Hisham saying, might see Sparky or Hoggy Q since Evo Recruits are banned. Yes, Goblin Giant is banned, though. Tossing Plastic in the building. Sup, Rich? How are you? Have not been able to get out and toss for a few days. Was sick last weekend, and then sick kind of all last week, really. And then the cold front and the rain hit here in Texas. So I have not been able to get out and toss Plastic. I had a nice little streak of like 13 weeks going. Gone. Hopefully the rain lets up here in the next couple of days. I can go out there and get a round in, which would be super fun. Iron Man saying, I am surprised from tomorrow. Not sure what you mean there, but do you? Love from Bangladesh. Thanks, Joy. Happy to have you here. Much respect, much love. We should be getting games going here in just a moment, folks. Again, as soon as they get started, we'll get started. Steven CR just saying Rich. Steven. See, but then now we did a whole thing back and forth together. That was fun. That was enjoyable. How many of y'all, by the way, I haven't done much on From not from tomorrow, from yesterday. Yesterday would be when Mo lost. But, you know, I feel you. How many of y'all, by the way, have tried playing, now out in beta, Moko, the new Supercell game? Has anybody tried that? I've been streaming it a little bit on Twitch. I haven't done anything with it on YouTube yet. We'll see if I decide to do so right now. Let's just go ahead and jump into our gameplay for game number 1. XAlee, top of your screen. Lucas at the bottom. Bar barrels to open from both directions. XAlee getting the emotes flying early as per usual. Do I watch YouTube? Like, do I watch? I mean, I use YouTube sometimes. Iron Man, it's twitch.tv/Rich Slayton. It's pretty easy. If you prefer to watch on Twitch. Might do some more streaming, some more Moko streaming this week. Maybe even here on the YouTube channel. What do y'all think? Would you want to see some Moko? Or is it Clash Royale esports only and anything else is awful? E-Giant in for XAlee. This Bowler E-Giant deck has just become very popular. I don't know if I like Bowler E-Giant as much. I mean, right now you're seeing some good results for XAlee, who is BMing as usual. A little love from Berniux out in Lithuania. I don't know if I love the Bowler E-Giant as much with recruits not really being a thing, but working out well for XAlee here so far. Adam Villalobos, what's up, Rich? Should the Evos guys get an HP buff like the rest of the Evos? Make them survive with basic small spells like Stab Gobs. Is that too OP? Way too OP. I think that the HP buff should be removed from all Evos. I don't think any Evos should have HP buffs, or an HP buff should be very specific and intentional. But I think the biggest problem with the evolutions is the big stat buffs. I think that the abilities are pretty much fine, and those should be pretty much it. All the big stat buffs, in particular HP, I think is the real problem. All right, Graveyard in on the left-hand side, NATOing to keep that E-Giant from taking the tower. This Inferno Dragon might be a problem. I think that Lucas gets it down before it goes all the way, and once again, XAlee lets the emotes fly. Naseed, hey Rich, how you doing? I'm doing very well, thanks for asking. Iron Man saying, I just love Mo gameplay with your commentary. I could do honestly, the best financial move for me would probably be to just do a channel where I just make a deal with Mo and just cast his gameplay for 6 hours a day. If I just became the official caster of Mo playing Clash Royale all day. GG, well played. Game number 1 for Olimpo squad and XAlee. All right, game number 1 in, and I'll answer some more questions here in a moment. Lucas taking down XAlee. Game number 2 coming up. Adriel versus Capgun. I see a question. Sorry, just join what format is. This is GKR. It's a teams event. Usually I stream it twice a week. I have not been able to keep up with that as of late, but trying to get back into the swing of things with GKR. First set is 3v3 BO1s. So we have game number 1, Lucas versus XAlee, just happened. Game number 2, Adriel versus Capgun. And then if they split those two, so if Adriel beats Capgun, then game number 3 will be Pedro versus Fram. Then set number 2 is King of the Hill, as you normally are used to. And then if we need a set number 3 is a dual mode best of 3. So that's the overall format for this competition. Mo doesn't even play that much usually, does he? And GKR? No, usually Shot Calalas wins before they get to him. We'll meet you soon at finals. Oh, cool. Looking forward to it, Iron Man. How old is Lucas? He's pretty young, right? Let's see. I think Lucas is... I think he turned 16 in 2020. So he's either 19 or 20 now, I think. Here we go. And... Easy call there from Capgun to kick things off with the NATO activation. Tossing Plastic, I'm interested in it. Can you chat about the idea? I quit CR with the last big update, but wouldn't mind a new one. Can I chat about the idea? What do you mean? Like the about the idea of streaming the new Supercell game on this channel? Is that what you mean? When is World Finals? November 24th to 26th. Tickets available. As Iron Man just said, we'll meet you soon at Finals. Very cool. The new game, yeah, it's if you haven't seen Moko yet, it's an MMO. It's pretty cool. It kind of has like Diablo-ish vibes, Diablo, World of Warcraft kind of vibes. It's still in beta. It's available on Google Play in the US if you're looking to get involved in the beta. It's really fun. I just hit level like 20 something out of 50 at the moment. So I haven't quite accessed end game content yet. Is there age restriction to compete in CR? I don't know about all the other various competitions. In general, any official competition has a minimum age of 16. There's no maximum age, but you need to be at least 16, and that's just to comply with lots of international, like labor laws in various countries. So yeah, CRL, and all official Clash Royale esports stuff has always been 16. Hog should, nope, does not get one. Tombstone does its job. So far, a lot better start for Adriel here against this Bowler E-Giant deck. Olimpo squad leaning on it, going for it twice in a row now, and so far, despite having Bowler, Tombstone, NATO, Capgun has not been able to control the Hog Riders as well as he would hope, but has good damage the opposite direction here. And now, a pretty nasty push all the way coming in. The Ice Spirit leaping over the bowl, over the rock, is kind of a problem there for Capgun. Adriel should be able to cycle back to another Tesla, I believe. I don't think he will even need to. Just going to DPS this down. Lead for Capgun as we go into sudden death overtime, 1467 to 1558. And Adriel keeps going opposite lane, not to give more to that attack on the right-hand side, not to feed it, but it's an interesting time to be having to go the opposite direction. Is this E-Giant thing deck a thing? Actually, a thing now. I saw it in Royale. Master says Smurfblade. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing because of the recruits meta. I don't really understand playing it with recruits, with Evo recruits banned, but as you can see, it's working pretty well. I have some Moko streams already on my Twitch channel for Tossing Plastic and those who are interested in the game overall. But maybe I'll put a poll out. Should I keep Moko off this channel, or is it okay to be on this channel alongside all the Clash Royale esports content? Gonna hog under the lightning here, try to get past this Tombstone. I don't think that Adriel's gonna get enough out of it. He can go for a lightning block here. Has to keep track of that cycle pretty nicely, though. NATO does pull. He goes for the lightning block. He plays it a half step early, though. And that's a quick 2-0 for Olimpo squad. Leaning on this one. Leaning on that Bowler E-Giant deck. Olimpo squad up 1-0. Let's come back over here. I'm going to update the score in our first set. Not the score update anyone probably expected. 1-0 for Olimpo squad. Let's take a look at, let me come back over to the chat here for a second. In a way, it's like Splash Out, but for E-Giant. Yeah, I feel you. Tossing Plastic, do you celebrate Halloween? I am all about Halloween, Tossing Plastic. If so, do your kids have some awesome costumes? Yeah, I like to decorate my house quite a lot. I like to make my own decorations. Like I buy some decorations to like fill in stuff, and then I like to make some of my own stuff. I posted a picture on social media of like a bubbling cauldron that I made. Let's see. I think I might even have. Let me see if I have the photo. I can even throw it up in. I'll throw it up in here if I still have it on my phone. I made my own little version of a bubbling cauldron. I think I might have deleted the photo off my phone. I don't think I kept it after I posted it. Yeah, I think it's gone. But yeah, and this year my older son, my 5-year-old, is really into Pokemon. So the whole family were going as like a Pokemon crew. My Mrs. Slayton is going as Ash Ketchum. I'm going as Pikachu. My 5-year-old is Charizard. And they don't really make infant Pokemon costumes, so kind of a nondescript dragon that we'll assign a Pokemon to for the 9-month-old. That's our like family Halloween this year. No, I've always loved Halloween. Let's see, Ziroko saying, Rich, I am scared for Morton this World Finals. How do you think he'll perform in your opinion? Also, Moko, cool new game, would be cool to see how it goes. Sure. Morton has a really interesting first-round matchup with Samuel Basoto. He drew a really tough first out. He's certainly capable of beating Sam, no questions. I'm very curious to see. I don't think Morton's going to get O2'd in this competition. I don't know if he's going to make top 3 again this year. I really don't know what his preparation is like, what his feeling is like at the moment. Honestly, this game is so much more random with the addition of Evos. They're really from I think that it's very clear that Evos are good for the game from a casual/business perspective. I don't think they're good for the game in their current form from a competitive esports perspective. The reality is that competitive in esports isn't the highest priority when you're running a gaming product like this. So I don't know. I think this is going to be the hardest World Finals to predict that we've ever had because of how much Evos throw crazy wrenches in the engine. That's my thoughts on this. So I don't know what that means for Morton. I don't know what that means for anybody really. Watching from Brisbane, Australia. From Australia. G'day, Rich. G'day there, J-Mac. That was kind of a rough go there at an Aussie accent. When is the World Finals? November 24th through 26th. Nice cat, bro. Throwing... Oh, yeah, thank you, man. This is a little disc golf action in here. I think Morton will go far or have an early out. Probably no in-betweens. Very possible. Let's take a look at the King of the Hill lineups here. Pedro, Adriel, Mohamed, Light for shot Calalas, XAlee, Capgun, and Wallace on the other side. And those of you who really want to see Mohamed Light, good luck. Congratulations. You're guaranteed to see him because either he will play in this set as the anchor for Calalas in the King of the Hill, or since Olimpo squad's up 1-0, we'll see him in the duel mode. Maybe both. Your infant can be a Metapod. Stays easy within the theme. That's really funny. Yo, Rich, have you ever played Brawl Stars or anything to do with that department? I think I enjoy the game, but it's kind of hard with any new characters. Any tips? I've played some Brawl Stars. I recently cast some Brawl Stars as part of the Samsung Galaxy battles. I don't really think I have any good tips for it, though. Will the new champion, whatever it be, a lot of worlds? Yes, of course. Do I watch cricket? No. Where's the CRL finals bracket? It's posted online. Hidarth saying, now I think Ngannou can beat Wilder and Joshua in a boxing match, probably not Usyk. I think it's heavyweight boxing. Heavyweight boxing is so different from boxing. You got to separate heavyweight boxing into a totally different category. You got to separate all heavyweight combat sports. Oh, those bats are getting so much. And this is, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. With the kind of the messed up NATO defense that I can't remember who it was in Royale Masters. Someone, it was a hog Valk push on the left-hand lane and tried to NATO under and missed the NATO to King. And then it resulted in a ton of damage. We also talked about it a little bit with the hog bats play. You NATOing a hog to King Tower when there's a bats push behind is often a recipe for disaster unless you have a good plan to control the bats. Smurfblade, again with the weird decks, this MK Prince Hog deck. It's not this MK Prince Hog deck Smurfblade has been around a lot as of late. People started playing it as a way to play the powerful MK Prince combination and Mo vs. Clown. Yeah, there you go. Started playing the MK Prince combination, and then they wanted to be able to preserve Minor for other matchups, and they've discovered that this deck is pretty good with Minor or with Hog. Any top heavyweight can knock their opponent out with one punch. It's a different ballgame. Yeah, it's all heavyweight combat sports are very different. The skill cap is much lower overall. That's why, you know, like if you look at the UFC roster, for example, it's thick at like 135, 145, 155. The bigger you get, the more it thins out. A lot of you guys might not know this. I was a mixed martial arts commentator for many years before I got into the Clash Royale scene. I commentated hundreds of fights, and over the course of those fights, I mean, I must have commentated dozens upon dozens upon dozens of 135, 145, 155. 170 was rare. 185 felt like heavyweights. 205, maybe a handful, less than a dozen that I ever commentated. I might have done one heavyweight fight ever. There's not a lot of actual heavyweight combat athletes. So that's why you'll watch the UFC and see some guys fighting in a heavyweight fight when you're like, who are these jabronis? Man, Ali might be... Is Ali the most toxic person to play against? Who BMs more than he does? Anyway, that's why you'll see so many, like, who are these jobbers in UFC fights where like, there's two heavyweights on a card, and you're just like, these guys are just smacking each other. It's because heavyweights draw eyes because it's exciting because someone gets knocked out, and because the skill cap is very low because there's not that many heavyweight fighters. Dominik BM's more maybe, says Doe TV. Maybe. Interesting NATO. I don't love that NATO play for... Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought maybe he should have been NATOing in the Firecracker as well. Either way. Graveyard, Poison, full push in. Bats to the left. Not going to get much out of it. Pedro just has to control this at the bridge, and he should be able to win this one. Tombstone for the Prince. That's a lot that Ali can't hang with. Full Graveyard Poison. Earthquake's now keeping them off his tower. Very smart. You got to have that NATO ready for this Hog and not mess up that interaction. Perfectly played. Good game, says Ali. GG. Well played. Pedro finally gets shot Calalas on the board here in set number 2. Ali down. Next up, Capgun. And this one. Pedro will stay on. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's catch up with the chat here for a minute. Let's see. It's still weird to me. It just doesn't seem like it should work, and I guess people like it. Sure. World Finals date, November 24th through 26th. Mo versus Airsurfer, Adriel versus Faust, Mugi versus... Oh, this is just all the first-round matchups. There you go. Yeah, the bracket's posted online. It's pretty easy to find. How does the World Finals going to look? First players will be playing a group stage, and after they're going to play in playoffs. It's a double elimination bracket, best of 3s, dual mode. As a free-to-play player doesn't play every day, which card evolution should I go for right now? Right now, the strongest one is Recruits. I have to imagine there's a nerf incoming for Recruits. I would say the safest one to go for is probably Evo Knight. It fits into so many different decks. It's even with some nerfs, it's still going to have that shield value. I think Evo Knight is the safest, even though right now Recruits is the strongest. But Evo Knight's the one that's most likely, in my opinion, to stay around for a long time. And I see Smurfblade echoing that same sentiment here a little bit later. Ali plays the most mid-ladder decks right now. Well, that deck's being played a lot in competitive. We saw it a bunch yesterday. Let's see. Everyone drop a like. We have almost 200 viewers, but only 30 likes. Hey, yeah, throw some likes in there, team. Rich, will you be covering the Supremacy World Championship? What is the Supremacy World Championship? Is that the teams thing that may or may not be like being run by like a weird group? I don't think I'm planning on covering that one. I need to double check. Here we go. Any unboxing today? No. Hey, Rich, 1 vs. 1. No. I disagree. Uska's a very skillful boxer. You can also argue he's between cruiserweight and heavyweight. Yeah, I just think that, in general, once you start getting to guys who are, like, over 230, combat sports changes dramatically, especially when you're not talking about grappling. But even with grappling, right? Who's your favorite player in CR? You, Iron Man. Rich, who do you think is the most annoying guy on CR Twitter? I'm not going to give him the satisfaction. I have the annoying people all muted. Not even blocked, just muted so that they can yell into the void and still think I'm listening. It's fun. We need deck for 9 trophy. Any advice? Yes, the one you're best with. Who's your favorite player in CR? I already answered that one. Straight up no, LMAO. Yeah. I'm not going to 1v1. Why would I 1v1 some random person? And so to the point of the question earlier about, hey, I'm a free-to-play player, what should I focus on for an Evo? Look, if there's like a deck that you one-trick that has an Evo for it, right? You one-trick RG, it might be worth considering doing the RG Evo. But if you want versatility, just look at this Evo Knight that's in 2 very different-looking decks. Hi, Rich. As far as you know, who do you think the new champ will be allowed to play in World Finals? I'm fairly sure. Pretty sure it's going to be allowed in World Finals. I don't, especially with the fact that it's going to be released, I think, pretty decently in advance of World Finals. Yeah. You think that the best esports marketing event of the year will not feature the brand new stuff that they would love to market? Rich, you know any modern British comedians? Only the ones who come over here. I don't pay attention to the theater-y British comedy scene. It's very one-man showy over there in Britain. Maybe it's starting to evolve now some more. But yeah, like once you've come here, sure. Interesting to see Pedro going kind of like a more old school version of E-Giant. Smurflade saying the thing about Evo Knight is the mechanic is so broken that so even if they eventually release Evo Valk, for example, that will probably still be superior. They're not going to do it. I think that if you took away the stat buffs, that it wouldn't be broken. It would just be fun and interesting. And I like Evos. I like the abilities in Evos. I don't like the stat buffs. But I think that if Knight wasn't like also so dang beefy on top of having this ability, that it would be not quite so broken. Yes, I believe the new champion will be allowed in World Finals. I would be dramatically surprised if it were not allowed in World Finals. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What's that NATO doing? What's that NATO? What was that? NATO Capgun. Well, 2 up, 2 down for Pedro. And there we go. Last man up for Olimpo squad, Wallace. We'll see him in a minute. Let's see. Even I, oh, it's fast as dumb. Yeah, all the stat buffs I think are bad for Evos. The abilities are cool. I would love to see abilities without stat buffs, but you know. When is the 20-win challenge? Now that you asked about it, it's never going to happen. I'm telling them to cancel it. Imagine if there's an Evo Valk as fast as Valk in Clash of Clans. That'd be crazy. I hope we don't get a repeat of the Monk Phoenix meta when those were released. Yes, okay, but dual mode will at least prevent it from being every single game. You know what I mean? Dual mode is a nice hedge against a meta that's dominated by one card. It's still going to be kind of crazy. Change to your real name. Nice. I think Wallace is the black. I think you mean Dark Horse there, Mustafa. But yeah, I feel you. Wallace got some data. I don't like how Evos are an objective buff to the card. It removes a lot of strategy depth. I agree too. Just the fact that they buff the card is bad. Rich, what do you think about the level of Jones, Sirogane, and Tom Aspinall? Why is Aspinall on that list? Are you British and just like you're Aspinall standing here? Do you think the skill cap is increasing? Maybe to a. It is increasing, but it's still like it's still so shallow. It's still so shallow that like every heavyweight division. That's why you're seeing like heavyweights who are like 45 who are still competitive in the division. You know what I mean? It's just thin. And yeah, John Jones. John Jones is a light heavyweight who has bulked up. Yes, the skill cap is increasing, and that's true in every sport, right? Everything the skill caps. Clash Royale, the skill cap has increased dramatically. Most of the CRL pros from 2018, I think, could not. Not to say that they would have to have put up their skill level in 2018 is nowhere near the skill level of the top 16 players now. Now, whether they would have been able to get to that skill level is a different question, but the actual skill level they had in 2018 does not match the skill level that we're seeing right now. And that's true for just about everything, right? Skill level in basketball has gone up. Any new secrets about the new champion card in Clash Royale? Nope. They make Evo cards, has to be able to buy them. It's just for money. Yeah, it's a business. Businesses are just for money. You know that Clash Royale exists just for money? You guys do know that, right? Like, if Clash Royale didn't make money, it wouldn't exist. Businesses are just for money. Of course. Thunderstruck. I'd smoke Mo one hand. I believe it. No questions there. Wow, then it's even more impressive that Morten is still keeping up. Yeah, well, Morten has evolved. And Morten was, like, top. Morten was, in my opinion, top 5 in CRL, like, even in 2018, like, NAEU. I would have put him top 5 in 2018. And he was certainly, in my opinion, the MVP many times over. I would say that Morten was probably the MVP of CRL EU in 2018. Team Queso really spread it around, right? Like everybody got wins on Team Queso. Morten straight up carried SK Gaming to a second place finish in CRL EU. So much so that SK was like, oh, we should build a whole team around this guy. Vitor saying, I'd smoke 2018 Morten easy. Interesting. Do you think would you smoke 2023 Morten easy? Or I don't know what he's like in 23 right now. 23, 22 Morten easy, right? Like 2018 Morten's a different. 2018 Morten was EU MVP and still isn't what he is now. Wallace would love to just disrupt this whole situation. Thunderstruck. I'd smoke 2028 Vitor. I like it. I like it. Who is the best player? I think Mo Light. Love it. Are you the host of this GKR tournament? Nope, just casting it. Smurf Blade. I think the skill cap has gone up, but the skill floor has gone down. I don't know. Did you watch CRL at AEU? $11.92, $15.19, 30 seconds left. Pedro would love to finish this off with a King of the Hill sweep and send us to the third set. Needs a hog shot here, though. Gets one. Does he get two? Almost gets two. Not quite, but the lead has swung. Wallace is behind. Oh, Wallace is slightly ahead on the EQ cycle. I don't know if he can EQ cycle again, though. This should be, he does EQ cycle again. The hog does not get a shot. Does that log hit? Oh my gosh, the log hits! Oh my gosh, the log hits! GG. Oh, I forgot to do my replay buffer. Oh, I couldn't pull the replay. I couldn't pull the replay. Ah, darn it. Pedro, 1, 2, 3, King of the Hill sweep. We're going to the third and final. Let's go. Darn it, I didn't have my replay button active. Duel mode, Mohamed Light versus Wallace coming up next. Super fun. Let's go ahead and let's even up this score here. All right, what's a skill floor? That's the the lower level to be competitive, right? So yeah, like what you need to, the highest level of play in pro gaming and pro CR has gone up, but from Smurfblade's opinion, the lowest level hasn't also risen with it. It has gone down, and that's an interesting supposition. But I would again say go look through some of those CRL 2018 rosters, and even some of those 2019 rosters, and I'm very 50-50 on that. Which is better, 2018 Rich or 2023 Rich? I mean, I think I continue to get better at my craft. That's for sure. I do miss stand-up, though. I was funnier in 2018. Let's see. Disagree with the floor going down. Oh, hold on. I skipped the last stuff. Disagree with the floor going down. I'm still just as bad as always. So very funny. Where's the new Evo Archers? I don't know. What do you think of drop shipping as a business in 2020? I don't even know what that means. What is drop shipping? I don't know. You do your prospectus and then figure it out. I'd smoke 2015 Momo. Yeah, that's probably right. Rich, can I share a YouTube video link in chat? No. Well, now Mo should be set up to win this last set. Well, we'll see. Everyone knows who is the best, but the question: who's the second best? I think it's still probably Mugi. I think my power ranking pretty clearly goes Mo, Mugi, and then after that, I don't know what to do. Let's go. Wallace, says Ziroko. Server. What's server? What are you talking about? Server. I don't know what that means. I consider VTR 74 as a semi-pro. How's the baby, Rich? He's great. Super cute. This Sierra will be insane. Yes. Your favorite card, Ice Golem. Morton is infamously number 2 IMO. Sure, but I don't know if I would power rank him as number 2 coming into this final. I think that I'd power rank. I think I'd put Mugi as number 2. Let me look at the full list of people for CRL 2023. Who will you vote in finals, Morton or Mo? Well, they have to get there first. Definitely not Mugi's gonna get shredded by Adriel. Put some respect on what Mugi did this year, dude. Put a little respect on what Mugi did this year. That's kind of crazy. Where would you put Ian 77? I don't know, somewhere in the top 30? Top 40? Oh, calls me server instead of saber. Got it. Who do you think is better, Ian or Riley? For the moment, Ian. Riley still has a little bit more to prove. But I think that Riley is perfectly capable of doing it. Ruben top 3, that's going to be a tall order. He's too inconsistent. Let's see. Maybe Samuel or Morton. Maybe Pedro too. Joe No Skills, a CRL champion. But Morton always won second in so many years. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know where Morton's head's at right now. You know, I'll know more once I am in Helsinki and kind of see how he's feeling. But I don't know where Morton's head's at right now. Probably gonna be the most competitive World Finals ever. Yes, I have concerns about Evos being too disruptive, though. It's going to be... Look, this is the least predictable World Finals ever. That's for sure. Let's see. Are you a good player in Clash Royale? I'm mediocre. Why do you think Supercell doesn't listen to the community? I think they do listen to the community. They just can't do everything that you say. They take into account community feedback, and then they make their decisions with that in mind, but not as the primary factor. Or not as the only factor. Happy for your growth as a content creator. Survived by only at 8K subs. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Jake. All right, let's go. Dual mode. Game number 1. I'd like Evos to be banned in Worlds. Haha, never going to happen. Thoughts on a full Evo deck in the future? It's never going to happen. Or I'd be shocking if it did ever happen. Evos should be banned in tournament. They will not be. Thing about Morton is, yeah, that is actually one of the most important things to keep in mind, that Morton always has that advantage of being of all the live experience and other players maybe being more nervous live than he is, for sure. Morton is good at rising to pressure situations. So some early shots both directions in this Goblin Giant Sparky versus E-Giant matchup. And again, the versatility of the Evo Knight on display. And it might not be Sparky in this deck. That's what Smurfblade's saying. And there it is. It's the Mother Witch. Although I think not playing Sparky into this Lightning deck might be a benefit rather than a drawback. But we'll see. Rage will get some good extra damage here. NATO's to King Tower. That's an interesting wrinkle here. That's a really interesting wrinkle here. NATO into King Tower and how that will impact this Goblin Giant and, more importantly, the spears once they pop. And just full sending directly into the E-Giant is Wallace. He's gonna get... I don't think he's gonna spend the arrows here. Will he spend the arrows here? He will. Didn't get the skellies down, though, and gonna get very little out of that. Still, Wallace doing the right thing, and that's forcing Mo to play in the left-hand lane, keeping him from getting any sort of rhythm established on the right-hand side. That is exactly what he wants to do. And now you see Mo still forced to spend this bowler over here on the left-hand lane. Goblin Giant with minions behind. Minions trying to sneak on past here. The E-Giant does a nice job picking up, though. The high E-Giant to disrupt that push. Good stuff. Ooh, little defensive rage. I like that play. Still eats a lot for his efforts. Mini P.E.K.K.A not getting involved defensively here, and this is actually, I think this is going to get eaten up. And defensive rage again. Can he get that E-Giant off? Has to arrow. You have to arrows an E-Giant, and just like that, lead swings one more time to Mohamed Light. 1140 to 1157. The lightning is a big problem here. Wallace has to connect on tower, and trying to break through is so difficult. Greg saying Sparky makes or breaks this matchup. Mother Witch doing really nothing in this matchup here. Even with the tombstone. Mini P.E.K.K.A stays up. Won't be enough, though. That's going to be a ton of damage. That's GG. Game number 1 to Mohamed. Shot Calalas battling back after a tough opening set. Match point coming up next for Mo and Calalas. All right, let's hit some chat here for a minute. Catching up. Which class troop you like the most? Ice Golem. Without Evo, I think the meta is pretty balanced. Maybe. We don't know. Naseed saying Ian and Riley are surprisingly similar in terms of skill, but Ian's macro is better. It creates a big difference. I feel on that one. Let's see. From 0-2 to currently 4-0. Yeah. Let's go to the Twitch chat here a minute. If we say skill levels always improving, what about acting skill? Will any actor in the future match performance of Marlon Brando in The Godfather or Heath Ledger Joker? I don't know. That's an interesting question. But I think that the overall, like, I think that the base level of acting skill is rising. That could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't thought about that much. Morton is practicing much more than they used to in the past. He was also practicing with other players when Morty not available. I guess they are much more hungry for number 1 this year. Okay, well, that puts some that makes things interesting here with Morton when we go into World Finals. Can't kill Sparky with lightning and gets big chunks off the E-Giant. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's go ahead, jump into our next game. Is your glasses behind you on offer? Yeah, you can order all of them. Goodr.com. Goodr. Hey, Rich, you from? Do you mean, like, where am I from? Yeah, the thing is, I don't think acting is competitive sport where an actual benefit on improving significantly could be wrong, though. Yeah, I think so. I think that people have been good actors for a long time. Science doesn't make you a better actor, you know what I mean? But as we understand more about the human body, drop shipping is buying something cheaply from somewhere and selling it somewhere for a higher price. Oh, well, then maybe, yeah. I don't know. Do it, dude. A lot of people have made money that way. My guess for the 2023 World Champion, it's impossible to guess that, dude. Why am I feeling 2020 has fewer tournaments than last year? I think 2020's had more than last year. The big difference is that we didn't really have CRL last year, right? It was there's all the golden ticket stuff last year replaced CRL. And honestly, I like CRL better than the golden ticket stuff. What if you wrote a sitcom to keep your comedy going? I have a pilot for a TV show that I created with a friend that I wrote a while ago. But you can't just, like, you know, someone has to make it. Someone has to pay to make it, and it's very expensive. But I have a bunch of scripts that I've written. I think I need to check up on one of them. I was supposed to be getting paid some more for one of them recently, but we'll see. Two very interesting looks on Hog, right? These decks are very similar. Wallace trying to take advantage of the 3-card cycle. Almost gets the Ice Spirit, not quite. No Hog connection. Still, it is Wallace ahead by a nice little chunk. Interesting to see Mo fireballing the regular Firecracker. Maybe just wanted to make sure he got that Firecracker shot in. And now, trying to sneak a Hog through again. This time the Evo Firecracker not going to even get on tower here. And so Wallace doubles down trying to protect it and do whatever he can to get a little Evo Firecracker damage on that left-hand tower. EQ trying to make room for the Hog Rider. Log finally does come out. Hog will not connect. Just barely stopped with its hammer in the air as we go into sudden death overtime, 1936 to 2160. Match point for Mohamed Light and shot Calalas. Will the 3-card cycle be a factor as we get into the later moments of this game, or will the Evo recruits get involved and the triple elixir become overwhelming at some point. I think the bomb tower plus log will be sufficient on Wallace's side. But he does need to also get to these firecrackers is the other part of the problem. Bomb tower into the middle. Evo recruits all over that. Log trying to make enough room to get through, and that's going to be one hog shot. No, just barely dies in time. I thought the King Tower would be distracted. Doesn't matter, though. Lead 1878 to 2160. This is where we find out whether 3-card cycle can outdo these recruits or not. Triple Elixir going to start here in 5 seconds, and the EQ cycle has begun. Evo Firecracker, nice pickup there by Mohamed Light. He was absolutely ready for it. Evo Firecracker evaporated. Fireball now trying to get enough room for the Hog to go through. Hog's not going to go through. Does have to control recruits, though. 1671, 1720, 41 seconds left. Did Mohamed Light just out-cycle the bomb tower? He did. Still doesn't get on tower, though. Firecracker picked up by Evo recruits, 1238, 1613. Log plus bomb tower, goblins to cover. Fireball into the right-hand side. Mo wants to sneak a hog past this. He might do it. He very well might do it. He does. He does. He does. What in the world? How? How? How is Mohamed Light so good? Bro, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What in the world were we looking at? Bro, that was crazy. That was crazy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final moment. Let me go ahead and get the replay queued up here. I now have my replay on. Let me get this replay queued up so we can take a look at these final moments. Pedro listed as the MVP, but we know that Modus did some stuff. Tropical Gaming Mkers up next. Let's look at this replay first. 24 seconds left. Wallace is way ahead here. These recruits come down. Evo Firecracker plays to the left-hand lane. Fireball, and look at this. So he's playing the bomb tower so early. He plays the bomb tower so early. He needed to just control the recruits rather than bomb tower the recruits. And man, let's watch that one more time. He needed to just control the recruits, not bomb tower the recruits. He needs to either play this bomb tower here, right? Bomb tower either needs to be played really early so that you can cycle back to it. But yeah, easy. Evo recruits go wipe that out. Fireball wipes that out when you got nothing here. You got nothing for that hog. Cannot believe that Mohamed Light won that. Cannot believe Mohamed Light won that. And that's going to be a 2-1 win for Calalas. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Fabian saying he had to. Yeah, in those final seconds, you can't play the bomb tower. You have to essentially kite all of those. You gotta kite all of those to the middle and just keep them. They're gonna get some erasures there, but you have to be controlling the recruits rather than bomb towering them. Is it finished? No, we have one more match coming up next. One more match here. Tropical Gaming versus Mkers. Starting here in a couple of minutes. Man, that was wild. But everything else, as soon as he plays the bomb tower, hog is through. Boom. Was he not back to bomb tower? I think he was. Let's take a look at the replay one more time. So here we go. And so he plays the log before the bomb tower. Bomb tower, there's one card. 2. No, he was so far away from bomb tower. 3, 4. Yeah, he was so far away from bomb tower. He was so far away from it. You gotta. This situation here. It's hard, right? But something he needed to be somehow trying to kite. Maybe it's the Mighty Miner. I don't know if Mighty Miner was not back in hand yet, but you gotta just kite all those to the middle, kite them over to the other side, even, right? And have the bomb tower just ready for the hog. Rough. Question of the century, Rich. Why is Mo so good? I don't know, man. Steroids. Yeah, that was just not it. That was crazy. Is Mo really that good at Wallace to choke? A little bit of both, right? Like, he didn't abuse the 3-card cycle early on. I don't know about Hogs in the back, but didn't abuse the 3-card cycle to create some more room. And I think that the bomb tower play there was a big mistake. Mo will be really dangerous in the World Finals. Of course he will be. His last 2 finishes are 2nd place and 1st place. Not to mention winning all the things. I'm experienced, but rank push becomes difficult to unfair matchmaking. There's no such thing as unfair matchmaking. Just that's a skill issue. Which state of this tournament is the Rich Slayton? Is this Rich Slayton? I have no overview website. I don't know what you mean. Dear Greg, can you rephrase that? I'm confused of what you're asking. A little CRO World Finals information. It's crazy how Mo seems to be so far out of the world. Yeah, he's so good. He's very good. How did Mo lose to Clown? He's lost to Clown a lot this year. I don't know. I don't have the data somewhere, but I do believe that Clown has beaten Mo in competitive matchups more than anybody else this year. So this is GKR Week 7. How many more weeks are left, or are there finals? Let me go get the calendar. Hold on. Where is that calendar? Schedule. All right, this is Week 7. This is the last week of regular gameplay. I gotta do some makeup streams to make up some of the stuff that I missed this week. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that for sure. And then November 6th and 7th is playoffs. So this is the last week of the regular season, folks. What is your favorite deck? I hate decks. Decks are dumb. Mega Draft for life. Mega Draft for life, bro. Hey, Sandy, thank you so much for being here as always. Mwah. OP modding. Yeah, I gotta do some makeup streams before we get into the playoff portion. Yeah, anything about Clash, there's no way to cheat. No PEDs, no hacking, nothing. Yep. I don't know why, but something says to me that Mo's gonna choke at Worlds this year. I don't know. Rich, favorite season, summer for the disc golf. I liked summer better before living here in this silly, in Texas where summer is brutal. But, yeah, like late spring, early fall. What's your favorite Mega Draft pick? That's a good question. What's my favorite Mega Draft pick? Log. Poison. Picking Fireball and then taking all the cards that Fireball counters and then watching them be sad. Mega Draft is so fun. All right, here we go. Tropical Gaming. Who's that guy leading off? SB in the building, followed by Bob The Rock and InThrill. CRL 2023 Month 7 Top 3. Mkers with AdrianPiedra, Mateja, and Enis. Surgical Goblin, Ardentoas, Surgical Goblin, Ardentoas riding out the lineup for Mkers if we get into the later rounds. Let's go ahead and jump into our first 3v3 BO1 game, though. Adrian versus SB. Do I know Austin CR? I recognize the name. Phoenix is often the best pick because there's no lightning in the draft that rules. Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing is what's the draft look like? Oh, yeah, that's right. Let me go ahead and send that. There we go. And speaking of Phoenix, there is a bird. Do you like birds? A bit unfortunate that back in Mega Drift Path of Legends Monk was still broken. Yeah. A little bit unfortunate. Still trying to plan a Mega Draft League. I wasn't able to put things together fast enough this year to get the prize pool backing for it, unfortunately. But Mega Draft is goated. One second. Give me one moment, folks. I gotta handle something. Sorry, folks, taking care of something. And I missed a really nice King Tower activation. Darn it. I'll have to go back and figure out how to watch that. I was handling something. What was the activation? I totally missed it. Look away because I had to handle something and... Oof. Crazy activation, better watch it back. Yeah, sorry, I had started having to handle something. Use Training on Magic Archer to hit the Phoenix, activate King Tower. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Sorry, folks. Something came up, and it's requiring some of my attention. Let's see. Samander saying balance changes are so dumb. Why did they actually get a nerf when the usage is not that high? They just do balance based on the meta. I mean, the Remy Eli deck was the deck. Here we go. GG. Well played. Sam takes game number 1 and a tight one. Sorry that I wasn't so super down on the cast in there, folks. Something came up requiring my attention. Great game from SB. Have you seen the new champion Little Prince? Looks pretty cool. SP held it so well. Yeah, very nice. How did SP survive that? I wish I was... sorry, something came up and... I'm a little distracted here, folks. Let me turn off this music here. Are you also streaming on Twitch or on Kick? On Twitch as well. Sorry, folks. Something came up and required some of my attention. I'll try to get myself dialed back in here on the casting in a second, but the perils of casting and having other stuff to do at the same time. Is everything okay? Yeah, just some things requiring my attention. It happens. Base God. Don't worry about it, Rich. Thank you. Is World Finals the same as monthly finals? BO3. Yes, BO3, but it's not going to be pre-submitted duels. It's going to be... the normal duels, where you can make up decks as you go. Is Golden Knight back, folks? Is Golden Knight back? It really does feel like that's the case. Vitor saying Golden Knight is not back. Seen it a lot in the last 36 hours. Big lead here for Bob. Do I think Golden Knight should be buffed? Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell if champions are still strong or if just Evos have totally outshined them. One second, folks. We see one more decks out Evos for sure, says Vitor. That's true. I think the Golden Knight maybe needs something. Obviously, I think part of the reason why we've seen less Golden Knight is because so many of the Evos are mini tanks. But we're seeing a lot of Golden Knight lately. Zuthis, this problem is not unique to UCR and esports, but I'd love to see more face cams and less name changes. It makes it hard to follow. Yeah, name changes should pretty much not be a thing in esports. Name changes to me are a big pet peeve of mine. I really, really hate it. Like, your name is your name. David Villalobos. Rich, I love your channel. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. King of the Hill. With a nice, easy lead for the moment for Tropical. King of the Hill with Adrian and Surgical. Love to see that. Yeah, this would be a great one, right? Jors, Bob, and InThrill, and then Mkers, the Arden, Adrian, and Surgical Goblin. This will be fun. Let me go ahead and adjust this scoreboard here. Sorry, folks, again, for the distracted casting on this one. It does happen, though. One second. All right. With Juicy J, how are you? Thanks everyone for being here and for putting up with some of my focus challenges today. Juicy's pants say juicy on them. I really hope they don't. Juicy, you don't wear juicy pants, do you? Is SB the GOAT of GKR? Probably. SB might just be the GOAT, to be honest. If we're putting it out there. Might be the full-on GOAT. Here we go. King of the Hill, game 1. Jors and Arden. Let's go. Is SB the GOAT of GKR? Because that'd be a possibility. Top 2 Australians for sure. Coming from the top Scottish player, that means a lot. Okay, but okay. Vitor said earlier that Golden Knight is not back. Why are we seeing Golden Knight in duels then? You know what I mean? If Golden Knight's not back, why have I seen it now a shocking number of times in the last 2 days? Has a place in matchups. That's what I agree with that too. It has a place in some matchups. Apparently, it has a place in some matchups. That where people are losing their minds and playing it for no reason. Those are the 2 possibilities. What's going on? Not much. What's going on with you there, Kefir? Kefir? I'd say it's good versus recruits, but recruits are banned. Double banned. Recruits, Pump, Goblin Giant, Sparky. Well, so far the bowler variation is beating the brakes off of this Golden Knight edition. But never mind. Never mind, I was wrong. Sorry, Jors. Sorry. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Instant caster curse. Yo. Nobody caster curses like Rich Slayton caster curses. Believe that. King of the curse. Let's go. Still rocking the gooders. Yes, sir. All day, every day. Don't even know what my eyes look anymore. I haven't seen them in years. Look at myself in the mirror, I just see the reflection of the reflection. You know what I mean? Why do they ban Evo recruits? Even Knight and Barbarian so much OP. Evo recruits are the strongest card in the game right now. And recruits shouldn't even exist. Bro. Okay. Here is why I can't be on the dev team. I would vault cards, which is completely antithetical to how this game works. But there are cards I would vault or rework them into totally new things so that they're usable. Barb Hut, buy Barb Hut. Battle Healer, buy Battle Healer. Royal Recruits, buy Royal Recruits. All three of those gone immediately. Nerfed into Oblivion or vaulted or reworked into things that look nothing like they currently are. Recruits are antithetical, in my opinion, to Clash Royale gameplay. Because recruits literally... Okay, let's talk about not even minor, which can be played in any position on the board. Let's talk about Royal Giant, right? Or let's talk about Goblin Giant, which is overpowered right now. Goblin Giant can be played behind your King Tower, can be played in the corner, can be played a little bit forward so that it can pick stuff up and be tanking a bit. Can be played at the bridge, can be played in the middle to kite. Goblin Giant can be played a lot of different places. There are 9 total conceptual placements for Royal Recruits. In the back, to the left, to the middle, or to the right. Right in front of Princess Tower, left, middle, or right. Or at the bridge, left, middle, or right. There are 9 conceptual placements for that card. That is too few placements for a card in Clash Royale. That is not good. That is bad. Royal Recruits should be vaulted or reworked dramatically so that there's more variety to how they're played. Oizy. I heart the Battle Healer. Well, you were wrong. Or on the opponent's side, if you have 2 towers down. Good point, Airsurfer. So there are technically more places than that once towers are down. But there are so little things that it can do. So few things it can do. Yeah, but I agree they're brain dead. You should have to make a decision when you place a card. Pump only got 5 placements. Yes, but Pump is terrible. Barb Hut only has, whatever it is, almost no placements. Barb Hut, terrible. Barb Hut is an example of what you should do with a card that doesn't belong in the game. Nerf it into Oblivion. Or completely rework it into a new thing. God, the more I think about it, the more recruits actually make me mad. What are you going to do about this E-Giant here, Bob? Bob! Bob! There's an E-Giant! I don't think he knew there was an E-Giant on his tower. I think he did not realize it. He must have been doing something else. Pump terrible? Yes, Pump is pretty terrible. Pump is pretty bad. Here's some music. Recruits are the worst design card. They're just... Why would you make a card that... Why would you make a card that puts so many things on the board and requires no decision making? Requires 0 choices. Like, the decision is, do I want it to go more to the left, more to the right, or make them go in the middle? Make them go side to side. That's the whole decision-making process. And I know there are other cards that are also less complicated. But come on. Evo Recruit's got my Nullpet champion for the first time, so I have a soft spot for him, but if nerfed, I move on to the next broken one. Sure. Investing a bit too much in damage? Maybe. Never thought of it that way. Yeah. A terrible pump ban from 2 sides. Well, there's a reason it's banned because of Golem, and maybe because they just also some people have banned it. Some people have banned Pump as a meme, but Pump is really only in one deck, in that Golem deck. It's generally not good. It has its moments. Oh, that was the end. That was quick. And then Clone is the worst card in the game for the game than Recruits. I disagree. I disagree. Clone is gimmicky and only works sometimes and is generally easily counterable. Recruits is not a gimmick. Clone is fine. Just going to eat that Prince shot. Arden trying to do something maybe, but I don't think that thing's going to be a thing. Maybe. Could Arden make one big obnoxious push that overwhelms and blows this wide open? Thunderstruck saying Clone is great. You heard it here first. Thunderstruck, Clone one trick. A Miner to the back, bats up high. Is there something to stop that? It'll pick up with the Lava Hound. Can we get a little protection on the Firecracker? Almost, not quite. MK... Did Arden go with arrows as his spell? This has been really weird from a spell perspective on Arden's side. Does get the right-hand tower down, but does not matter. Needs to get this left-hand tower down. Pocket Ghost. Probably won't do it. No, Pocket Ghost gets on tower. Pocket Ghost gets on tower. Can the Miner get enough here? 2 HP. It does get enough. We are going to a 3-crown game, folks. Lava right on top of everything. MK, I think, will come down. No, he doesn't. Can't, oh, he has to MK late. Bats for the balloon. Will they do enough? Arrows come in. 307. Oh, my word. This is it. I don't. Is the fireball ready for InThrill? He's just trying to cycle enough, make sure that he can get to his fireball in time. Arden trying to win the foot race here. Tombstone up high. You got to have fireball back now. Where's your fireball, InThrill? There you go. GG. Well played. That was a ridiculous game. That was a fun game of Clash Royale. We should have more Clash Royale games like that. All right. That was a fun game. That was fun. It's fun when people hit lots of things with their things and then the towers fall a lot and then we continue on in exciting moments. Isn't that great? All right. Let's see. Coming up next, going to be AdrianPiedra for Mkers. Hot start by Arden. But gotta keep it going full steam. Too sweet to be sour, too nice to be mean. Can anyone know what that quote's from? Anyone with me on that? What if there were 4 recruits? That would be more interesting. Would you have to buff the recruits though, or change the elixir? 4 recruits would be far more interesting. I don't mind the spreading part. I think for me, the worst cards are the ones that are most matchup dependent, so I'll be Pump Clone. Recruits are just brain dead, though. 4 recruits basically equals guards. Yeah, I see that. Unless they're stronger. Stronger. I like that. If 4 recruits had the Little Baby Beastie Boys, thank you, Zach McCullough. If 4 recruits had the same spread, like, if you took, like, just 1 recruit off of each end, right? Now you have more ways to play them, but they still are like a multiple lane threat. I think that 4 recruits would be interesting. A 4 recruit rework. What would you make that cost? Would you buff the recruits and then have to adjust the royal delivery? Or would you just lower the cost of recruits? Interesting minor poison control deck here from Adrian. Make recruits spawn on mirrors position on both sides. You still want to make it so that recruits... One second. Maybe 5 instead of 7, my bad, maybe. Who knows? 5 elixir for 4 recruits could be interesting. I think there must be 6 recruits only. Interesting. Adrian's just all over this one. Would like to see this one go to a 3rd set. One recruit, 1 elixir, only option. I like it. Just no way through here for InThrill. A timely lightning would have been it, and now you don't even have the you don't even have the NATO for your King Tower situation, and that's GG. AdrianPiedra gets it done for Mkers, and we're all tied up. We're ready to go to the third set. SB versus Surgical Goblin. This is the math. This is the match that I wanted. This is a matchup I wanted more than anything. Folks, SB, Surgical Goblin, what more could you ask for on a Monday morning? What more could you ask for? Surgical Goblin is legend. That is true. The Legend of Surgical Goblin. Sounds like a book. A children's book about Clash Royale. The Legend of Surgical Goblin. What do I think of most performance this month? Sure. One HP player. Yes, true. One recruit is 1.25 elixir. Starting to really think that out. Starting to really get that sorted out. I feel I'm with you. I'm with you, dog. He runs around stealing organs on the black market. That got dark. That got dark real quick. I was thinking of like a fun children's book about the Legend of Surgical Goblin, and you just turned that into like a weird psychological thriller. I still think this is the best idea. One recruit, 1.25 elixir. That's all I want. Realistically, if you could have fractional elixir, the game would be more balanced. Yes, and it would be hard to like communicate that concept to people. But yeah, I think so. Do I think Mo got worse? The meta shift changed it. Meta shift, for sure. I think it's not just the meta shift, but like you guys have to recognize it. You cannot have the conversation about Clash Royale right now without recognizing that the variance created by Evos is so crazy. If Mo wins again this year, I think he overtakes Surge's Go. I think he already did. I think he, without question, already did, in my opinion. Surgical Goblin did not win CCGS and has won World Championship as part of a team. Mohamed Light. Let's just look at what he's done so far. Not to just talk about World Finals, second and first place in back-to-back seasons is insane. That's already sufficient to put you in the GOAT conversation. To go second and first place in back-to-back World Finals, already sufficient. Then you add in the pure dominance in almost every single tournament over the course of now 3 years, right? 21 was crushing it in 2021. Then in 2022, basically was like, no, I'm going to win all the things. And then 2023, he won, what was it, 5 of the monthly finals? Was it 4 or 5 of them that he won? 4? Let me double check that. Let me just double check that. What he actually won. Was it 4 or 5? My brain says 5, but now I'm confused. 5 monthly finals that he won. And one of them, he didn't play in one of them. Come on, son. And second place in the one that he didn't win. Like, there is no argument. Mo is the GOAT. Even if he goes out somehow 0-2. Even if he goes out somehow 0-2. Still the GOAT. I think once there are a lot more EVOs, the game will be more exciting. Probably there are many viable EVOs. I think that as long as I think that there needs to be more EVOs, for sure, so that they balance each other out better. And I think they need to have their stat buffs removed and just have the abilities. That's what I think. If Mo wins, does he pass SB in the GOAT ranking? No. SB all time. What was that log? What were you logging? Did I miss something? Was there something there that he logged, or did he just log accidentally? Tossing plastic. If your bag falls into a black hole, it's time to save one disc. What are you grabbing? Is this just like trying to save one disc emotionally, or like my best disc, or is this I still have to play the rest of the round and I need a disc to lean on? That's the context there is very important. Tossing plastic. SB is just dominating right now. Just pure domination. Unmitigated. Pure domination. Oh boy, but that's some EVO recruits. And we all know what EVO recruits do. Win games randomly. But they won't. They won't do it here. Did SB just... he's not even going to use a spell? Am I going to use his big spell? GG well played. Game 1 to SB. What will Surgical Goblin play in Game 2? To try to keep this thing together. That I don't know. My hot take is the stat buffs are good. It's more time to play on your side, makes more interaction with so more skill. You don't agree with that? No, the staff buffs do not make more skill. Maybe they make it more exciting and more satisfying to play. The stat buffs do not make more skill. They just make it so that this card suddenly swings stuff in crazy directions. It is a very hot take, and it's so hot that it's burning down the building. It's wrong. The abilities are great. Stat buffs should be intentional and attached to certain abilities, maybe. But just like this blanket, we stat buff everything for EVOs is obnoxious. Yeah. I don't like the blanket stat buffs. Specifically, I do not like the impact that the HP buffs are on everything. El Goku saying SB plays recruits, Surge plays piggies. I don't know why Surge would play piggies when all the splash damage is still available for SB, right? I think that would be a bad call. Likelihood here is that SB plays something that counters piggies pretty heavily. He didn't play really anything splashy other than Log and Firecracker in Game 1. Wouldn't be shocked to see SB play something with Bowler here. The new heavy decks meta changed the game, which made more of those heavy deck players shine, and add a variety of new players in competition now. Maybe. I mean, Mo still won the last monthly final with heavy decks being involved. Okay, if no stat buffs, then at least make them less cycles and make the abilities better and more interesting, because then I feel like your EVO pick wouldn't be that impactful. Yes, your EVO pick should be impactful, but not, like, game-defining. Right now, notice the casting, where so much of our conversation is about what EVOs have and haven't been played. That's crazy. The EVOs shouldn't dominate the conversation as much as they do. They are dominating the Clash Royale conversation. That's too much. They are the only thing that, like, they define so much of how this game doesn't work. They've also made it, for a number of reasons, champions kind of irrelevant. It's crazy how they're way too strong and way too central to whether or not you have success. EVO RG definitely feels a bit thick in the HP department, maybe. Yeah, maybe reducing cycles, but like some of them then, how do you reduce one that has a like, you can't have an EVO that plays every time you play it, right? Because then that's just what the card is now. Big payout on the line. You choose a disc, a special disc to keep personally, so you can keep it forever. Any disc that I have a personal attachment to in that regard is at home on my shelf. There's nothing in my bag right now that I have a personal attachment to that, like, has that kind of emotional attachment. So if $2,000 payout on the line and I need to keep one disc, very likely I keep my 156-gram champion Firebird. Because I can throw it on a rope if I need to. I can soften it up a little bit and use it to weave some gaps. Probably, that's very, very likely that's the one. Depends on the course, though, too, obviously. That's a lot on the right-hand side in this fight. And just pump, pump, pump right now. And SB just not getting after this pump on the right-hand side. A little surprised. The flying troops are really... That was a weird little glitch there. What was that? The flying troops really taking the wind out of the Golden Knight sails here. And I don't think SB can stop this. He's in a kite. I like this kite play here. NATO brings all that back in, though. SB needs to find a way to... He's not going to worry about the Dark Prince. That's actually a very smart play. This pump is just getting so much value, though. Pump is still bad. Just because it's occasionally good doesn't mean it's good. Oh, the lightning block. Oh, boy. I think Surgical Goblin wins that here now. What a block. And now 2 Electro Dragons. SB needs to find something to do here, but he can't. Going to try to kite again. But NATO pulls the kite back, and now he's locked in a bad rhythm. Has the lead, 30 seconds left. Can he hold this? Dark Princes on both sides, and oh, the oops. Oh, the oops. Oh, the oops. GG, well played. What a crazy game. What a crazy game that was. If SB had found some way to keep the E-Giant kiting, he might have been able to win that one, pull out the crazy victory. Instead, we're going to game 3 here, folks. What a fun game that was. And that lightning block by Surgical Goblin. Let's go ahead and bring that back up here. 1 second, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lightning block. Did I get it in time, or am I think I got it in time. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first big push here. It looks like so much. Keep in mind that SB has a nice little lead here. So he kites. He does miss that one Phoenix. NATO pulls it all back together, but the E-Giant is doing enough to do a lot of damage. Not worried about the Dark Prince here. Goes Phoenix to control. Does not get the King Tower activation, which I think he was hoping for with that place. So here we go. You have the Golem, and I think it was the Knight that dropped. I can't tell. I think it was the Knight. But the Prince, if you look at this, he's going for Princess Tower damage and for the Electro Dragon damage. But the fact that the Golem's there, yeah, it's the Evo Knight in front. He needed to really micro that to make sure he got the Princess Tower and the Electro Dragon, and didn't get whatever troop was there, and didn't get the Golem. But we'll look at this one more time here. And you can see he plays it, and just that Evo Knight picks it up. Brilliant. GG. And now we go to game 3 to decide it all. Match point both directions. Let's see. Surge has bad luck in deck picking. I don't know if I would say bad luck. Ooh, nice. You can do a lot with that with one that light. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility. Currently I'm bagging 4 Firebirds. I have a 156-gram champion, a 161-gram G-Star Pro, or Star Plastic Pro. I have 2 Nate Sexton Firebirds because I lost my first one turned out my doubles partner had picked it up, and so I'd already ordered a second one. But I have a 22 and a 23. I like the 22 better, though. The 23 Halo, I'm not super sold on yet. It would be interesting if they added an element to the game that involves a penalty for leaking certain amounts of elixir. I don't know why they would do that. Why would they add a penalty for elixir leakage? The penalty is already that you are not using that elixir. And that's a choice you make in certain situations. Oh. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. What's happening here? Loon in. Skelly Drags behind. Will the Skelly Drags get on tower for any meaningful damage here? And get some of that back, but the Hog. Good advantage early on. And SB does not seem to have any really great Hog counters in this deck. But how will Surgical Goblin contend with these lava pushes? Should see Skellies. No, he's going to go Skelly Dragons. Interesting. Wow. I don't think Surgical Goblin is playing a Fireball here. I think he's playing EQ. Yeah, he played Fireball in game 1. Miner will go right to that Firecracker. And that's tower down. Tower down. And now not getting the ability involved. That's it, GG. That's it, GG. SB, the true GOAT. And I don't even know, will Surgical Goblin play? He will. Oh, and that just hurts. That just hurts a little bit. Well, folks, it's been a heck of a day. Why do we like SB so much? Because he's goated. How do you not even know? How do you not know the answer to that question? Jeez. Jeez. Surgical Goblin going to try to make an effort for it, but he is no way. He can only get 4 shots out of this Hog Rider. Not going to be enough. And that's a GG. That's a well played. They went the distance here, folks. Set number 1, Tropical Gaming. Set number 2, Mkers. Set number 3, SB. Coming out hot. Big win. Let's get a little music in the building. SB, the MVP on the day here. Let me go see, where are the, that's schedules, there's rosters, there's rulebook, there's, is this the standings? Let me go take a look at the standings. No, put that in English, please. Thank you. Confirm. Let's go look at the group phase here. Is that enough to put Tropical Gaming into contention? Tropical Gaming going to end their season at 3-4. And tomorrow, Rising Sun Esports versus Sea Monsters. That's going to be fascinating. Tomorrow is Rising Sun Esports. So currently, they're not showing us the standings, but tomorrow's matchup between Rising Sun Esports and Sea Monsters might decide the fate of Tropical Gaming. Mkers are going to drop to 4-3, which should be enough to keep them in the top 4. Is it top 4 or top 6 who make playoffs? I forget now. Let me go back. Oh, top 6. Okay, so that should be enough. Tropical Gaming should be into playoffs now at that 3-4. Rising Sun Esports has a chance to send... Rising Sun Esports and Seam, though, will not only determine some seeding, but with ENOSIS still in the mix as well. Going to be interesting. French SWAT, once again, because they don't show up half the time, is out. SB wins set 3. Very nice. Very nice. Let me go ahead and do a little Do a little one of these here, folks. And boom, there you go. Cool. Hey, if you're on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're gonna switch over and do a little bit of Moko streaming. If you're on YouTube, it's been a whole lot of fun here. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do want to come and join for a little bit of Moko, the newest game from Supercell, then let me go ahead and give you, where is my channel? Let me go ahead and give you the link. You can come join and watch some Moko streams. You can keep the chatting going. I don't know how long I'll do it, but you can come over here and join for a bit. YouTube, it's been a blast. I hope you've had a good time. I know I've had a really great time. And, yeah. That will be it. So, yeah, Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're switching over to Moko here in just a second. And for those of you on YouTube, as always, be excellent to each other and party on, dude. Peace. All right, Twitch, hold on. Boom. And ending the YouTube stream.